Whoa, it's Facebook Live time. Hello, how are you? Welcome. It is really a pleasure to be here because guess where I'm at? I'm at Rythmia. Wait, let's do this. Wait, I'll go like this. Oh, now I have a halo. No. I'm doing this because nobody's on here yet. So, so it's just me right now doing my halo, but people are coming on. So I'm so grateful to be here at Rythmia and to be doing this wonderful talk today, which is about life structures. We're continuing the life structures that we have been working with for the last several weeks. So we're going to start talking a little bit about life structures, a review of what we've done, and then go into the life structures that we're going to be talking about this week. So welcome everybody. Traffic is building. I'm so glad you guys are here. While traffic is building a little bit more, I'm going to tell you that I'm at Rythmia. Yes, you guys, this place is amazing. Amazing. I am just witnessing these transformations, witnessing people who are, hey Jen, who are walking this path. So much forgiveness is going on right now. So much healing, so many people stepping into the truth of who they are. People are having some challenges too. It's work, man. It's not for the faint of heart. It's for those true spiritual seekers. And we have a full house of people devoted. Hey, Jennifer, so glad to be here. A full house of people devoted to waking up to the miracle of life, waking up to the awe of life. And I have just been inspired. I've been inspired by witnessing. So this talk, the Facebook Live about walking the path, is really about the spiritual practices and principles that carry people through after the ceremony, right? This is about embodiment and integration of the insights and revelations that people receive here at Rythmia. So, all right, we've got a bunch of people on here, so I'm going to jump right into it. Welcome, everybody. I'm so glad you're here. We're talking about life structures. Now, a review of life structures. Life structures are those outpicturings of our own spiritual growth and development. Life structures are the areas in our life, the structures in our life that, when stabilized, show our spiritual work. This is a teaching that was brought forth by Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith at Agape, and I am honored to share this teaching with you. And it is something that I've been trained and studied in for many years, and it has impacted my life, and I've seen the difference in my life when my structures are stabilized. So welcome everybody as you're joining. Again, life structures are the results of our meditative prayer, meditation and affirmative prayer, our life visioning, our spiritual study, our introspection, and our service. They're the ground out of which everything else evolves. Yay, Vanessa made it, woohoo! Our life structures are mirrors reflecting back to us how we are progressing on our spiritual journey. So this is the talk about life structures. We talked the first week about spirituality and ego. The life structure of spirituality is our spiritual practices, our meditation, our prayer work, our breath work, our yoga, our qigong, all of the areas in which we work our spiritual practices. The life structure of ego, which we also talked about 2 weeks ago, is a healthy ego is the life structure of a healthy sense of boundaries and a healthy sense of self-worth, free from comparison and belittling ourselves and self-recrimination and self-doubt. Imagine living a life free of comparison. Hey, Estella. Hey, Chaz. Welcome. This is the life structure of our ego, right? And you can go back a couple weeks ago and look at those talks on spirituality and ego. Last week, we did beliefs and relationships. The life structure of beliefs are those areas of where do I have this chronic belief that I'm not enough? Where do I have this chronic belief that things don't work out for me? Where do I have this chronic belief that it's just this way, that people just always take advantage of me? I'm never gonna make it. I always mess up. I never can take my vitamins. I never do this. Those belief systems, that the world is against me. Those chronic belief systems that are undermining our intentions, right? I can have an intention to live in health and wealth and abundance, but if unconsciously I don't believe that there's enough to go around and that the goodness is always over there and it's never here, then there's confusion between my intention and my unconscious or subconscious belief. So we have to excavate our beliefs. So go back to last week's talk and listen to the talk about beliefs and relationships. Today, I feel like breaking out into today we talk about life structures. Okay, I won't sing for you anymore, but I will tell you that our life structures today are community and our body temple. Big life structures. So in overview, the life structure of community, this life structure is about consciousness and a conscious recognition of our interconnectedness with all beings. When we stabilize this life structure, we're living life outside of the sort of me plan, right? Because a lot of times, especially in manifestor consciousness, we get stuck in this sense of, I'm making this happen for me. I need to live in wealth. I need to have health. I need to have this, which is good. We need to take care of ourselves. Absolutely. In fact, true love is the extension of oneself for the genuine care and nurturing of my own and another's spiritual, mental, and physical well-being, right? So it has to be genuine care and nurturing of my own spiritual, mental, and physical well-being before I can love another. So it's very appropriate to be on the me plan. But as we expand our awareness, as we stabilize the life structure for our own selves, our egoic life structures, then we can move into an expanded life structure where we realize that we're a global citizen, that I can't do anything to you without affecting me, and that your good is my good. We also realize this sense of a larger self, a larger sense of self than just what serves me. So the life structure of community is about recognizing not only that I'm a global citizen, that I'm a participant in the unfolding of collective consciousness, not just my own, but also we realize the value of coming together with like-minded individuals who support our walk towards spiritual awakening. That's what Rythmia is all about. Rythmia provides community. Agape provides community. You have a spiritual center where you live. Check out Unity Church, Centers for Spiritual Living. There's an Agape near you. There's a Hillside near you. There's a Science of Mind Church near you. There's a Self-Realization Fellowship near you. Find a community where you can come together with other like-minded individuals that support you in your walk towards spiritual awakening. And as we find this life structure being stabilized, we find our right place in our community. And this is an area where we get to express ourselves and deliver our gifts and talents, right? I want to volunteer. Sacred service is a pillar of the spiritual life structure, right? Our sacred service. That's one of the structures that supports us in being a global citizen, is volunteering, sacred service. Where am I delivering my gifts and talents? So community is the place in which we get to deliver our gifts and talents. So, and for me personally, Rythmia is that community. I get to come down here and be a spiritual practitioner. I get to come down here and share my love of spiritual principle and the study that I've done with people and walk that path with them a little way so that the path is a little easier for those who share the space with me. Right? That's service, and I love it. We get to realize that in community. I don't get to deliver my gifts and talents isolated in my home. So before I go on any further with life structure of community, I want to just recognize some people who joined. We've got Leah, hey, and Desiree, and Joe. Yeah, right on, Joe. Amanda's here. Thank you. And Vanessa, thank you for wanting me to sing. You're like the only person, but I appreciate it. So just recognizing all the one, and Yanni, great, from Denmark, hello, see you in May, excellent. So the life structure of community. Rythmia provides a community. That's why people come back, for the tribe and for the vibe, right? To find like-minded individuals. That's also one of the reasons why we created Our Love. If you guys haven't seen Our Love, go to ourlove.com, and it is a 100% free spiritual dating app. For conscious connection. It doesn't have to be just dating. You can just connect with people on a friendship level. But we created that to create a community. A community is where we boost our immunity. That's one of the things Reverend Michael says. Community boosts your immunity. It's like an immunization shot against the lower thought forms of separation, not enoughness. I don't have any place to deliver my gifts and talents. The world's against me, right? When we're or I'm alone. Nobody else thinks like me. Nobody else is interested in plant medicine in my community. My family thinks I'm crazy, cray, right? Community provides immunity to those lower egoic forms that have us believe that we're separate. So we find a place in our community to walk this path with other awakened individuals or other individuals on the path of awakening. And we find a place in our community where we get to deliver our gifts and talents. For me, Agape made Los Angeles home. I don't know that I'd feel that LA was home if I hadn't found a community where I could do announcements. I get to do announcements and be funny and, and share my gifts and talents. I get to be a practitioner. I get to be of service. I get to hold vigil. I get to do private counseling sessions with people. One of the greatest joys of my life. I love my private sessions with people. And what's even more amazing is that it has nothing to do with me. Right? Like when I'm in session with a private client, spirit is moving through. And it's an opportunity to open up to the richness that spirit provides, all the intelligence. Here's the principle. There's one mind. It's my mind. It's God's mind. God's mind is perfect. Therefore, my mind is perfect and your mind is perfect. For as above, so below. And that's the truth. And that is the principle. So when I'm in counseling session, when I'm in a spiritual counseling session with someone, it begins in meditation and it begins in affirmative prayer to realize the truth of our oneness with the mind greater than our own. And then something moves through us. So I get to be a counselor at Agape. I get to be a spiritual counselor here at Rythmia. So our community provides a place for us to deliver our gifts and talents. What are your gifts and talents? Where are you delivering the things that are the true and good desires of your heart? So this is the life structure of community. We awaken that there's something more than just my own needs, that I'm part of a larger collective, I'm a global citizen, and that I make a difference. Not only do I make a difference, I get to deliver my gifts and talents to make a difference, and I get to be a agent of change. I get to be a beneficial presence on the planet. One of the intentions that I worked with, that is still my intention. I have 3 intentions in life. 1, for my own spiritual growth and development. That's the only thing that really excites me. 2, walking that path with others. That's the other thing that really excites me, getting to be a practitioner with people, getting to be a speaker and teacher here at Rythmia, getting to lead my own retreats. This is amazing to walk that path with others. 3, and just in conversation, so many times I'm just talking to somebody and it's an opportunity to know the truth. To know the truth. It's when I drive by an ambulance on the side of the road, I get to live in my life structure of community. Driving by or hearing an ambulance go by, I get to know the truth, that God is in the midst, that everything is unfolding in divine perfection, that it is the hands of God helping that person right there, that it's God meeting God, spirit meeting spirit, life meeting life, right? This is when we have a broadened sense of our membership to a global citizenry, that I know that my thoughts and my words and my deeds and my actions make a difference on the planet. I'm a member of a community. Community boosts our immunity. And so it makes a difference when I hear that ambulance siren go by and I say, God is in the midst. I know all is well. Peace be still. Peace be still. Instead of just wringing my hands, whoa, that's something bad happening over there, right? It's an opportunity to step into something more. So that's the first piece of our life structure today. Our life structure is community. Our second life structure, before we move into that, let me acknowledge the folks that have come on. Jennifer, yay, coming to visit. Vanessa, the tribe and the vibe. Lori and Selah, love from San Diego. And you're a psychic medium and healer. Beautiful. Yes, and you want to be among others. Nice to meet you too. And Jamie from Utah, one of my favorite states. What a beautiful state Utah is. Jennifer Kirby, higher purpose. Love that. And Janine, welcome. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And Joel, what? Joel's in the house. Great to have you all here. So our next life structure today is the life structure of body temple. And this is our physical body. So the life structure of body temple reveals our relationship to our body temple as a vehicle that spirit lives in, right? This is the temple. That's why we call it body temple. It's the temple of the spirit. I was reading something yesterday that just really struck me. It really was beautiful. The rhythm of life is the beating of my heart, and the very force of life is the breath within me. God is nearer than my neck vein, closer than my hands and feet. This is the truth of a body temple. That our body, what did Ram Dass say? I'm God and drag, right? Like this is God's drag right here. What? So you know, our body temple is stabilized when we realize that there is a balanced nourishment and clean water and healthy living food, exercise and downtime, right? Our body temple is nourished by our spiritual practices. Our body temple is nourished by our community. Our body temple is nourished by our givingness, of our gifts. Our body temple is nourished by our ego, because our thoughts about ourselves, our beliefs, nourish our body temple. We know from the study of epigenetics that less than 3% of disease is caused by genetics. Most of disease, most of the genes are turned off and on by our own limited thinking, our reaction to external stimuli. So the life structure of body temple is when we're nourishing our body and we realize the fundamental wholeness of the body temple is a law unto the health of every organ, action, and function, every cell, every organ, and every limb. And when we are stabilized in our life structure of body temple, we realize that our body is an asset. And one of the reasons why at Rythmia we focus on yoga and colonics and yoga, colonics, meditation, healthy farm-to-table organic food, medical pools. We have a cold bath and a hot bath and a sauna and mud baths. All of these things and the plant medicine and the breath work all work together to stabilize our body, to nourish our body so that we can be a fit instrument. This is one of my favorite teachings of Reverend Michael. Our body must be a fit instrument. So that, yeah, our body must be a fit instrument so that we can live our purpose. It's great if you come to Rythmia and realize what your life purpose is, but if your body isn't a fit instrument in order to deliver those gifts and talents, you're missing out on part of that delivery mechanism. So our body temple as a life structure begins to stabilize when we are taking care of ourselves and healing and healing ourselves through our thinking and through our thoughts and deeds and our actions, right? So making healthy choices mentally, physically, and spiritually are part of the stabilization of our life structure. And when the life structure of body temple is stabilized, we're able to go out and live our life purpose. So life structures themselves, we've talked about all of the life structures: spirituality, ego, relationships, community, beliefs, our physical body. Next week, we're going to talk about the life structures of financial and livelihood. So if you missed any of the life structure talks, 2 weeks ago it was spirituality and ego. Last week it was relationships and community. This week we talked about body temple and financial. These are the structures that, when stabilized, allow us to be a candidate for enlightenment. They move us out of the repetitive cycles of survival and adaptation. When I'm in survival because my body isn't healthy, when I'm in survival because I'm isolated, I don't have a community, when I'm in survival because my relationships are fraught, when I'm in survival because I don't believe that life is working for me, when I believe everything's against me, and when I'm in survival because I believe that I'm comparing myself to other people and I'm not good enough, when I'm in survival because I don't have spiritual practices, all of those, survival and adaptation mean that I'm just trying to get through the day. I lived my life for so many years just trying to get through the day. Wow. I mean, I just say that now and it's like, wow, I really remember saying that. I just got to get through today. I was leaving the house, couldn't wait to get home again. Just was hoping to make it through this day. I don't live life like that anymore. I don't. I can't remember the last time I lived like that. And it's because of the consistent work in stabilizing these life structures that I have been able to now move out of survival and adaptation and into revelation and dissolution, right? It's not super comfortable, right? Survival and adaptation definitely isn't comfortable. But revelation and dissolution can be uncomfortable as well, because when I get an insight and I see something, then that means something is seeking to emerge through me. And when something is seeking to emerge, if something's emerging, something has to fall away. You can't have spring without winter. It doesn't make sense. You got to have one and the other. So as something is emerging, something is seeking to fall away, and that can be uncomfortable. But it is the realization that something good is happening, right? So we move out of I'm just trying to survive to when I notice that uncomfortable feeling, it's like, oh, something good is happening. Let me catch it. Let me see what's coming through. This is the difference between surviving and living in a state of continual expansion and evolvement. Ernest Holmes says we are on the path of an ever-increasing good. That good life is always replicating, always increasing itself. It's always taking out of itself and making more of itself without ever depleting itself. That is the nature of the abundance of the universe. So we know it's abundant, and it's an ever-increasing good, right? Even when it doesn't appear to be. Even when it doesn't appear to be. So it's not that what I'm going through isn't real if I'm struggling with something. But it's what's unreal about it is my interpretation of it. That's what Jesus meant when he said, don't worry about appearances. Don't get caught up in circumstances. It's that, how am I going to interpret it? Do I interpret that circumstance as, oh God, I just got to get through the day. This sucks. Or do I interpret it as, this is challenging. Something good is emerging. Let me see it. Let me see it. That's my prayer. Let me see it. Let me see what good is trying to emerge, because something good has to be happening. I've told the joke before, and I'll tell it again, about the optimistic child and the pessimistic child. So the optimistic child and a pessimistic child were told that they had to go clean the stables. And so it's a Saturday, and the adult, says, go clean the stables. And the pessimistic child and the optimistic child go off to clean the stables. And so the adult goes to check on him a little later. And the pessimistic child is in there cleaning the stables, and he's pissed. He's like, this sucks. I can't believe shoveling shit on a Saturday. All my friends are out playing. I got to clean this stupid stable. Can't believe this. It sucks, right? And the adult looks. He's like, all right, I expect that, but he's got to do it. We got to do his chores, right? And then he goes to the other stable where the optimistic kid is. And the optimistic kid is rolling around in the shit, throwing it up in the air, digging in it, and he's looking all over it. And the adult goes, kid, what the hell are you doing? And the kid goes, well, I figure with all this shit, there's got to be a pony somewhere, right? So how are we interpreting the circumstances, right? Are we interpreting it as this sucks? Or are we interpreting it, there's got to be something good in here. With all this shit, there's got to be a pony, and I really want a pony, right? So this is the difference in how we live our lives. It's not that anything necessarily changes in our external life, although the outpicturing of good tends to come towards us. But being a spiritual being doesn't indemnify you against bad things happening. Being a spiritual being means that you interpret those things in a new way, knowing the truth that something good is seeking to emerge. There's got to be a pony in here somewhere. Let me see it, baby. Let me see it. Okay, let's check out some new comments. We got Kenneth from Ohio, Joel, Josh, I'm going to say it wrong. Josmer, Jennifer, Danielle, Kenneth. Thank you. The rhythm of life is beating my heart. Yes. The rhythm of life is beating my heart. The very life force is breathing, is the breath in my lungs. Carolina from Sweden. Yes. Oh, good, Jennifer. I'm glad you're looking forward to the next one. Next week, we'll be here. Same bat time, same bat channel, 11 o'clock Pacific time on Thursdays. Jennifer Kirby. I lived in survival too. I know, sister. And isn't it good? It's just a shift of our awareness. Glad you're working on the life structures, Jennifer. Rick, what's up, brother? Thanks for watching, and I miss you loads too, brother. And Jamie, my pleasure. Vanessa, Rebecca, thank you. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you all so much. So look, next week, same time, we're going to talk about financial and livelihood. Those are two life structures that, when stabilized, make life a hell of a lot better, let me tell you. So thank you so much. Knowing that you are all walking on the path of an ever-increasing good, that you are walking into fields of an ever-widening awareness of consciousness, fields of consciousness that are ever-widening in their awareness, and an ever-deeper connection to the source of all of life, to God, to spirit, to Mother Ayahuasca, to Mother, Father, God, to the great living intelligence, the love, beauty, intelligence that governs the universe. This is the ever deeper connection, an ever increasing good, an ever widening awareness, and an ever deeper connection to the source of all of life. I love you. Thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Peace and blessings.